super simple chicken noodle soup. What I do is I use a combination of chicken thighs and chicken drumsticks as the main ingredient for the broth. Take the chicken legs and I just rinse them off, put them in a stock pot. What you're going to do is take your chicken, you put it in the pot. Okay? And what I do is I fill the pot up with water about 3 to 4 inches above the chicken. Don't want to add too much water because then it will be a diluted broth. Next step, you want to take 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt, and 1 tablespoon of black pepper, and add that to your chicken stock. Now you want to let that boil for about 45 minutes. So now we have a pot of chicken legs, thighs, and about 4 onions that are just cut up randomly, with 1 tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. The noodles are done. They went only 8 minutes before they were at the consistency that I like them to be. What you guys have to remember with the noodles, do not overcook them. And when they are done boiling, rinse them with cold water until the noodles cool down. Also, make sure that you cool your pot down too and put them back in the pot that you strained them from. And the reason why you do that is so that you stop the cooking process and the noodles don't get mushy. You want to keep your noodles nice and al dente. I always add the noodles to each bowl of soup. This way the noodles, they don't get really mushy. Stay tuned. Alright, I got my vegetables cut up, ready to go. And my chicken, onions, and water are starting to simmer nicely. What the water's doing now is breaking down the chicken fibers and it's getting inside the chicken a little bit, and what it starts to happen is you get a little bit of this foam on top. What you want to do is you want to take the foam off and get rid of it. It's definitely no big deal if you want to leave it. But it's basically part of the blood in the chicken that's coming out. So you take it out, and the idea is what happens. It makes the broth a little clearer when your broth's done. If you strain this out from time to time as your chicken's boiling, your broth will be nice and clear when it's done. All right, chicken broth's coming around nice. Carrots and celery is on standby. And I just cut up and cleaned about 3 pounds of boneless chicken tenders. What I like to use is the tenderloin of the chicken. It just seems to come out a lot nicer. What I'm going to do here is lightly season it. Take a little bit of pink salt and sprinkle it over my chicken generously. I'm going to massage that into there later. And then what I'll do is I'll take about the same amount of pepper, put a little salt and pepper on the chicken, and then just kind of roll it around a little bit, kind of even it up. Don't be scared to cover your pot. Basically, covering the pot keeps a little heat in there and it stops so much evaporation of the liquid that we're trying to make. Okay, here we go. So we're about done with making the chicken broth. One thing I want to point out is I like to boil the chicken to where all the chicken comes off the bones and you're left with just very clean chicken bones. See, it could go a little bit longer because the chicken is still sticking onto the bone a little, but it's super tender chicken right now. It's been boiling for about 45 minutes, maybe 55 minutes, somewhere right around there. But what happens when this chicken boils for so long is that all the nutrients in the chicken go into the broth, and the chicken becomes very flavorless. So what I like to do is I throw the chicken away and I just use the broth. Take it off the heat. Take it to the sink here where I have another pot and a strainer. And then what I'm going to do is just take the pot and strain the broth. Sometimes you gotta move it around a little bit because the onions that were in the broth will clog the little holes in the strainer and your liquid won't strain into your other pot. So you gotta make it happen. We're almost done. All right. All this chicken that's in this strainer, I don't reuse it because basically all of the nutritional value is gone right now. So what I'm going to do is utilize the broth and take the broth, add the vegetables and the boneless, skinless chicken tenders to it, let it cook for about 30 minutes, and boom, that's it. Alright, so I took my chicken broth and added it back to the pot. Then I added all of the carrots and the celery to it. Now this liquid is amazing because it has nothing but chicken nutrients in it, essentially, and flavor. And now we'll add the flavor from the vegetables to it. We'll cook the vegetables just to where they just get soft. And then I'll cook the vegetables for about 10 minutes now, and then I'll add the raw chicken tenders to this. Let it cook for about 20-25 minutes, just in a light simmer. The chicken will cook and get really, really, really tender and fall apart and add more flavor to this chicken soup. Alright, so there we have it. After the broth's made, you add the vegetables, let them cook for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then add the chicken and let the chicken cook for about 25 minutes. And what I do is I take a little bit of the noodles that are cooled, I put them in the bowl, and then just add some of the chicken stock and carrots, vegetables to the noodles. And that's about the best way to make it right there.